Hey, Nelson, alcoholic addict. That's not my real name. I use a pen name here at LOL Sober. Um, One big thing I want to do with this newsletter is just to emphasize how fun sobriety is. Because when I'm doing the work, sobriety really is. It's a blast. I laugh more than ever. So I want to occasionally just tell some jokes or tell a funny story that I think has some sober ingredients baked into it. But mostly the goal is just to make you laugh. So I'm going to tell you a funny story that happened to me recently. It includes irritation, impulsivity, how much of a fight or flight person I still am, and then the idea of just walking around this world angry and sober. Those two things just don't play well in the sandbox together. So here goes. Here's my story. So in the middle of the pandemic, I was just locked in the house, 3 kids with my wife, and just I was at my wit's end. Everybody was. Kids were arguing. My wife was frustrated with them. I was frustrated with them. My wife and I were frustrated with each other. And so I had to get out of here. And, nothing crazy. Just I need a breather. And so I went to the grocery store. Didn't even need any, didn't need chocolate milk or shredded cheese or taco shells. I just wanted to get out of the house. So I'm wearing a Penn State football t-shirt. It just said Penn State football, jeans, and I'm in a mask, right? Everybody was in masks. So I grab a cart and I start to go into the store. I'm wearing a mask and this dude makes eye contact with me and just stares at me for a second. So I stare back and he says the word wiener. Yeah, like hot dog, like wiener. And I thought, what's this son of a bitch's problem? He's just calling me a wiener? Like he just really walking around this grocery store calling people wieners? Like how dare he? And so I'm like, whatever. And I walk in the store, but for the first 10 minutes of my trip though, I was like, this guy needs to be taught a lesson, and the lesson needs to be taught by me. I was really irritated. And so I was already coming in hot at the store. So it just made me so mad that this guy would insult me in such a horrific way. So I was in there for half an hour, and I spent 10 minutes plotting this person's death. And then I spent the next 10 minutes just going through things in my head about that I've learned along the way in recovery, which is like, hurt people. Somebody else's opinion of me is none of my business. And most importantly, the spiritual axiom, which is every time I am disturbed, there's something wrong with me. And so by the time I got to the frozen vegetables part of the trip, I was chuckling about this like random guy that called me a wiener. And so I take my groceries out the car and I'm loading up, put the cart back, and I take my mask off and I see the guy coming towards me. And I thought, oh God, am I going to rumble with the wiener guy? And so he takes his mask off and he says to me what he had said earlier, which was apparently not the word wiener. He said the words "we are," which, if you know anything about Penn State, that is sort of the battle cry for the sports teams, but also the school. One side of the stadium yells "we are," the other one yells Penn State. So he didn't call me a wiener. He said "we are." He was a Penn State fan or an alum or whatever. And so I sheepishly said Penn State to complete the "we are Penn State" thing, and then I practically ran to get in my car. I was laughing really hard, and I know now what to do, which is like when I'm irritated, even if I get over it, like I need to make a call, and so I did. I made a couple of calls, and to be honest, I left that day laughing. But guess what? I also felt like a little bit of a wiener. So thanks for letting me share.